Hi everyone, welcome back to Rocksteady. My name's Tracy, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use your pulse oximeter and what you need to be looking for if you have tested positive for COVID. Now I know because the medical service and the government guidelines have told me, but I also know from bitter experience just how grotty you can feel when you have COVID. And the problem being is while you're sitting at home feeling like that, feeling like everything is going for a turn for the worst, and you want to just reach out and call the emergency services or call 111. In this country, our COVID helpline really is the 111 service, who deal with usually minor problems. But they are really there to triage and to pass on urgent cases over to 999 or advise you to go to A&E or the ED. So it's a minefield, isn't it? I did a video a little while ago which contained a kit that you can get put together which will help you through COVID, and it's really designed to help you before you get any symptoms. There are things that you can take that will prepare you physically. So there are minerals and vitamins that you can take that will actually help with that, your body's fight against that infection. But there was 2 pieces of kit in there that obviously were actual proper kit, one of which was a decent thermometer and the other was this, a little pulse oximeter. So I come from a background of where I worked in the ambulance service for 13 years, so I kind of have a little bit of background information and knowledge on all these bits and bobs, but I realise that most people actually probably don't. And so this is it anyway. It comes in a little pouch and it looks like this, like it's like actually, if you like, a little peg. So it's blank when you first see it, and I'll show you how to use it. First of all, you press the little button and you get all these numbers, and when it zeroes out, you open it and you put your finger in and just leave it there, and you put it down to rest, and the little lights will go up and down while it's measuring. And after a little while, once it settles down, you can look at it. Now, I'm in front of the camera, I guess that might have an effect on my pulse, because this measures 2 things: pulse rate and the oxygen saturations in your blood. And for COVID, we're really interested in the oxygen saturations. Now, mine is now currently saying 98. I do have a pulse rate of around 80 something. It was 60 just now, and I wasn't sitting in front of the light and the camera. But as you can see, my oxygen saturations are showing at 98, which is great. So what isn't great? That's the thing. You get one of these little gizmos, and there's not really a great deal in there that you can use. So 98, as I said, is pretty good. So you take it off, you let it go back to 0 if you want to test someone else. I would wait until it goes off, so it completely clears down, and then press the button again, wait for it to do its gizmos, and then once it zeroes out like that, goes to lines, put it on the next person. So yeah, how do you know then which is a good rate and which is not? So the guidelines are, especially in COVID, you need to be more mindful of the fact that a bad rating with COVID is worse than anything else. So 95 and above is considered normal. While I had COVID, I dropped to 94, and I felt relieved because having this little piece of kit meant that when I felt my worst, and I really cannot stress just how bad you feel, you do feel like everything is going disastrously wrong. I wonder what that was, something going disastrously wrong. put me off my stride. Yeah, so you feel like everything is going completely wrong and you're going to end up in hospital on oxygen. You just feel absolutely dreadful, and you're sitting there and there's no help around because everybody's distancing from you. But with one of these, I was able to put that on my finger and know that I was 94. Now, 93 to 94, the guidelines say that you should get in touch with your GP or your COVID service, which in the UK is 111, as I said. So they recommend that 93 to 94, you speak to a professional. I didn't. I did at the beginning before I had one of these, but I stuck around 94, 95, on a good day 96. So I just left that. But if they're 92 or below 92, then you need, the guidelines say, to recheck it. So let it go back to off, start again and recheck it. And if you're still 92 or below, then you need to be in A&E. So you can call an ambulance if you can get one, or you can get someone to drop you off. Now, remembering in most places around the world, you will not have anyone there with you. You have to go in alone, they drop you off and leave, which is hard. Believe me, it's one of the hardest things. And it wasn't for COVID, but I had to drop my partner, or I went to see him while he was there and they wouldn't let me. I saw him while he was in the waiting room and that was it. He he was diagnosed with angina. But knowing all the time that he was in there that I couldn't actually go to see him. And then my son was in hospital as well. Not with COVID. But knowing that they're there and you can't even just pop over and speak to a doctor and ask a few questions. It's all gone. So, you know, it is difficult. But 92 and below, it's A&E, I'm afraid. 93 to 94, chat with one of the healthcare professionals. And 95 and above, you're okay. Now, I didn't know that when I was ill with COVID, and I did hit 94 quite often. I didn't call every day. The last time I did, they were so busy I never got a call back. But by the end of the day, it's a strange thing, COVID. I would feel bad from, say, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 p.m. That time of the day and evening was my worst time. And then all of a sudden, after that time, I would rally and feel so much better, and my SATs would go up, which was SATs are oxygen saturations. So that was a bit weird, but that's just the nature of COVID. It is weird. So, but I hope that helps anyway. So that the video that I did before, this is just a little update for it. And I'll put a link around about now. And if you want to watch that, then please do. There are other things. I've seen an exhaustive list of all the things that you can get together or start taking now. But the ones that I've got there are the ones that I was taking, funnily enough, beforehand. So I kind of was doing some of those things because of my diet, because I'd been following a low carb diet. So a lot of the things that they recommend that you take, I was already taking. So I just continued. But there are things in there that if you do get COVID, that are invaluable to bringing up your electrolytes and everything else. So do watch that video if you haven't already. As I said, there was a link and I'll put it at the end of the video as well on the suggested videos that come up. So please do watch it because it is invaluable and it tells you all about this as well. But I just wanted to get on and do a short update video that actually explains the numbers, because I didn't go into those details in the first video. And I know that you get one of these, there's a little tiny booklet inside, and that's the help you get. And really trying to get through to a healthcare professional, unless it's your first time and they triage you and someone calls you back, it's really difficult because they are so stretched at the moment. They're so busy that, you know, it is very, very difficult to speak to them. So I just hope that this has helped. But this was just a little video really to let you know what the government guidelines are regarding those numbers, because they did a briefing a short time ago And I thought, you know, maybe I should update my video in accordance with what they've said. So it's not just me telling you. This is the word from the medical professionals who are advising us. So yeah, if it says there between 93 and 94, don't do what I did and sit at home and think, no, I'm fine. Speak to a healthcare professional. You know, I wish I knew that when I was suffering. I was lucky. I got over it. But there are a lot of people who sit at home thinking they're fine and they can ride through it. And you can't. You know, it's not that kind of illness. COVID, unfortunately, the coronavirus, whatever you like to call it, is nothing whatsoever like any virus that you will have ever had in your entire life. You could have had some humdingers, but this one is absolutely nothing like those. So please take the advice that you see when the healthcare professionals give it, and I'm just mimicking what they've said. So thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I hope you don't need it. So bye for now, everyone.